Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another tutorial. So today I will be doing a new one for me as well because I just created this template and now we are going to make it. And it's pretty much a gift box with the cutout mom, and this is the bottom. It is super simple to make, and then I have two sides. Like I said, this is a new template for me, so this is me creating my mock-up, and I printed out two different sizes for the front and the sides just to make sure that I'm getting it right. So what we're going to need is we're going to need our middle ruler, of course, your blades, and you know we keep them sharp, so therefore we have those replacements. And then you're going to need, of course, your glue gun. You're going to need more glue sticks. You are going to need some acetate. And then your double-sided tape to go with the acetate. The foam board I got from Walmart, but everything on my list, I think except for the metal ruler, you can get from Amazon. I do have the link to my Amazon store in the description, as well as the link to the templates that I am doing today. So now I'm going to start off with this, I would say 11 by 8.5 sheet. But when you create the box, it will be about 11 by 5 because the box would be 5 inches in height. Well, length, I should say. So I'm just going to start off by cutting this little part off. As you can see, for this size box, because you know I have to do for my print at homers, you know I got y'all every time. So for this size box, I can probably fit like two boxes on here, no problem. And like I said before, this box is fairly easy to cut. And so for this, we're going to cut this whole thing off because you're going to score that where that line is. And so we're just going to trim this part, not trim, but cut this part off. Yes, it's very easy to put together. The only thing that takes up most of the time is cutting out that mom area. But like I said before, if you make it work for you, if you are not that busting that cutting, baby, take out that white spot and just leave the mom at those images. Put a picture in there and boom, you ain't got to even worry about that. But you know, people like a little peekaboo, so I had to give it a little peekaboo. But it is just too cute. And now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to score. So when we're scoring, we're just putting a little bit of pressure. We do not want it to go all the way through because we want to be able to pop it like that. That's a good score right there. And that's pretty much scoring. So now we're just going to cut out all the white part, and child, you know I'm about to fast forward this because it takes too long and I'm gonna got time for that. So people are always asking me, oh my gosh, how do I get smooth cuts? Baby, let me tell you, and I will keep repeating it. Sharp blades. Sharp blades is the key, and you can always tell when your blades are dull because it doesn't cut smooth like butter. If it's cutting smooth like butter, you know your blade is sharp enough. But if it's not, and if it's given, I don't know, feta cheese, child, or cottage cheese, it is time to change those blades because it is just, it's not it. And a metal ruler for those lines. Now, I do like to go to the back because sometimes you have a little problem because the paper on the back, flip it over, and I tend to slice through that second half really quick, and that definitely helps. But child, sharp blade, and take your time. There's no need to rush. Just take your time, especially if you have to go like around corners, take your time. You want it to be nice. This is your name that's going out there, and you always want to represent yourself to the highest of standards. So now that that's done, this is what it's supposed to look like, cut out. And we're just going to set that to the side, and we're just going to finish cutting the rest of the board. Okay, so now that that is done, we're going to have our pieces. These are our sides. This is our front. This is the bottom. And then, of course, you have your top and your back panel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the acetate and we are going to measure. Usually I take the cutouts and measure, but we don't have that because our cutouts is pretty much pieces. So I'm just going to take the acetate and I'm going to lay it over. I'm going to grab these scissors that I had, didn't say I needed. And then I'm going to just like mark it so that I can go with my metal ruler and my X-Acto blade and slice it. Now, as always, I am going to try and get this as straight as possible because, child, I definitely struggle with going straight. But all we can do is the best we can. And just like that, we are going to now take our double-sided adhesive and we are just going to outline the mom before we put the acetate down. Okay, so now that that is pretty much done, I'm going to take the protective covering from off of the double-sided adhesive before placing the acetate down. And this part is pretty easy. You're just peeling the best you can, grabbing that acetate, putting it down, and then we're going to run over the area where the tape is just to make sure that it's secure. And then that part is pretty much done. So there you go. Check that out. This box is just like too cute. And I knew it was going to be cute, but I didn't know it was going to be this cute. But yeah. So now we're just going to grab the bottom piece and I'm going to measure because like I said previously, it is always important to measure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the glue, and this is one of the side walls, and I'm going to glue that edge right there, and I'm going to place it on the front. Now, when you glue yours, you're not supposed to be able to see any of that white, the thickness from the foam. So you just place it on the back, close to the edge. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. If that's done, we are going to lay that part right there and pretty much measure where it goes. And I'm going to flip that over. That way I can glue the back of the side wall so that it can be placed on the back of the box. And that way this is just easier to do it like this. You just want to make sure that the sides are lined up straight. Now for this box, let me tell y'all, it has like a little border, like a free edge border going around it. So don't see a little edge and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing it right, but you are. It just has like a little border around it, that's all. And now I'm getting ready to glue the bottom. And again, I'm just taking my time and I'm going to like measure to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. And then I'm just going to flip it on the top and I'm going to take my time and, well, not necessarily take my time, but I'm going to hurry up and glue that edge and lay this bottom down. And just like that, it is done. It is so cute. And that's how you open it. You just lift it up like that and boom, done. How cute is that? So now that that's done, we can get to the bigger box. So I'm just going to take my foam board because now we just pretty much started from scratch. So I'm going to take this foam board and I'm going to, number one, peel off the sticker. So I'm going to grab these images and we are going to place them on the foam board. Now I do have a lot of free edge, so I'm just going to like take my scissors and trim it down a little bit, which should save some space on the foam board. So this box measurement is to be printed on a 17 by 11 sheet of paper. And once it's all done and put together, the box will be approximately 16 by 6.3, which is a pretty good size. It's not too big and it's not too small. And now that that is done, I'm just going to peel the back a little bit and place it on the foam board and smooth down as I go, because what you don't want are bubbles. So I'm pretty much going to just repeat what I just did with the first one, with the second one, and just cut all the free edges and peel and stick. Now, because I have two different sizes for the front and the sides, I'm gonna take down both. But trust me, when you get the template, it's going to be exactly the size it's supposed to be. And I only end up using one because the one that I chose in the beginning was just right. So I pretty much did this for nothing. So now that that's done, I'm just going to cut it out. And remember, we're going to cut that whole thing out because we have that area that's needing to be scored. And so it's just one thing. But before I even get to anything else, I'm going to make sure I cut out all the pieces. So now that all our pieces is cut, we're going to take our acetate and we are going to mark it. And then we're going to take our double-sided tape and we are going to outline that mom area before we stick the acetate down. So now that's done, we're going to pretty much piece it together. And I am measuring because it's always important to measure. I did forget to cut the sides, so that's what I'm doing right now. And I know I have two, and that's because, like I said previously before, I didn't know which front or side panels was going to be needed for this box. So I ended up printing out two, cutting out two, and we're pretty much gonna measure to see which one works best. But y'all don't gotta worry about that because you guys, your template's gonna be top notch from jump. So now that we have that done and out of the way, we're gonna create our middle box by adding the sides to that front panel. Letting that cool for a little bit, making sure everything is nice and how it needs to be. And now that that's done, we're gonna pretty much measure again because I spent my whole time measuring. So we're gonna glue this bottom piece or panel to the back of the board. So now we're going to grab our front and side walls, and we're going to glue the sides, and we're going to attach it to the back of the box. Hold that down. We're going to clean up the glue, the excess glue, and make sure everything is good. Then I'm going to go from here. I was going to flip it over, but that gave a hard time. And then I'm just going to do it like so. Because you're not supposed to glue the bottom panel on first. You're supposed to glue that on it last. But it still worked out pretty good. And I am just so in love with this box. And this is me going throughout the box and making sure those creases are secure by adding a little more glue. And that is pretty much it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bells. And until next time, happy crafting.